Peace be upon to you and hi. This is our video presentation that is focused on the mental health awareness among Polytechnic Melimau students. Follow up with the code of DUE50032 Communicative English 3 with the observation under Madam Sarah binti Abdul Latif. As for the members, my group presentation include of 4 members including me, Siti Nurtun Aisyah Alimah binti Adnan, Nur Shakila binti Azman, Nur Anisha Jlana binti Yahya, and Nur Azza Akila binti Yazmi. As for the contents, our presentation today will have a few main content, which is the introduction, issue and objective, methods, targeted students and hopes, the results, and also we're going to talk about the discussion. As for the introduction, what is mental health? Mental health refers to the cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. It is all about how people think, feel, and behave. People sometimes use the term of mental health to mean the absence of the mental disorder. It sounds like how people nowadays, especially we focus on the Malaysians, has beyond the stigma of mental health. While bringing out mental health issues among students, this study is provide comprehensive of the various aspects of a mental health problem that affect college students, which is our focus for now is a Polytechnic Melimau student. It also explores the treatment options and methods that are available for them to proposally to calling out people intentionally regarding the mental health issues, then how we're gonna solve them in the future.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Anisha Jlana binti Yahya and my matric number is 14DPM21F1027. Today I will discuss about what is the issues. The issues talks about mental health awareness, especially among PMM students, as being it a common topic for adolescent and young adult, nevertheless never been discussed properly. We seek awareness and look up for acknowledgement regarding this topic.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Azraikla binti Azmi with matric 14DPM21F1024. Here, you can see that we have 3 main goals, which are to determine mental health awareness among PMM students, to identify the measures taken to handle the stress, and finally to maintain a good mental health among PMM students. Next, I would like to explain a little bit about the method we use to get information about the survey on mental health awareness. The method we use is through Google Form. This is because Google Forms can be considered by a student as an alternative to making online questions, and we can create and analyze survey right in mobile or web browser. It also to give feedback to and receive feedback from students.
Thanks to my friend, next I will tell about to whom targeted survey, which is PMM students, because they face assignment that need to be completed in a short time and are also given a date by lecturer to send the assignment that have been made. Next, they are also easily influenced by negative symptoms in their environment, for example, the influence of peers.
Lastly, we hope this survey will increase PMM student awareness of mental health. As a result, students who had diagnosed with mental illness will feel more comfortable at seeking assistance, and students who live with family members or friends that have been diagnosed of mental illness will feel more comfortable to discuss their experiences and look for useful support. This is our result for this survey. Let's move on to the graph explanation. Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shakila binti Azman and my matric number is 14DPM21F1085. Today I would like to present to you the bar graph about this survey, which is the title that we can see is the bar chart illustrates the types of exercise that PMM students prefer to maintain the mental health on 2022. So, if we refer to the bar chart, if you look at this graph, you will notice the vertical axis shows the types of exercise and the horizontal axis shows the number of responses to this question. So, the type of exercise that we can see is jogging, cycling, aerobic, skipping, and window shopping. So if we look at the trend over time, we can see the decline graph change rapidly, which is from jogging until skipping, which is the number of responses is from 30, 26, 11, and 7. So, however, for the window shopping, there was climbing more slowly from 7 at skipping to 19 at window shopping. So, as a result, that we can see and understand is most of the students that attend this survey would be prefer the first one is jogging, which is they have the largest numbers, which is 30, and the difference on the smallest number is 7 on skipping. So what I can say, student of PMM prefer jogging, cycling, aerobic, skipping, and window shopping, but they most likely to prefer jogging, which is the highest responses, which is 30, and the most not prefer is skipping at 7. So at this we can agree that exercise is preferred by PMM students to maintain the mental health, but they have a different suggested on the exercise that they would be prefer, and the differences is okay because some people more likely to other sport, other exercise, but as long as the exercise is good for themselves.
Move to the next question is to focus on the first objective, which is to determine the mental health awareness among Polytechnic Merlimau students. The question sounds like, have you felt particularly low or down for more than 2 weeks in a row? The pie chart has shown that students who answer very often is the least among the rest, which is 30%. And meanwhile, students who answered not so often got most voted, which is 38%, appears to be the first place among the rest of choices. Next, following up by the mid-answered is not at all, follows by 25% and somewhat often 24%. I believe that we are still in our beginning of a semester, which is most of the students will not get their assignment yet, and the minority of students will be a senior in a Polytechnic Merlimau, since the senior got a very stressed SEM among the rest of the SEM.
I will discuss the first question about how do you deal with stress. Firstly, we can talk about sports or exercise. Based on the graph, only 28.8% of students do exercise, and it is the least compared to others. Exercising regularly is one of the best ways to relax your body and mind. Health experts recommend us to exercise consistently for at least 30 minutes every day. Secondly, we talk about isolate myself. Based on the graph, approximately 30.8% of students isolate themselves due to stress. Some people say they need time alone to keep their sanity. I am not one of them. When I isolate myself, it's often a sign that things aren't going well. Next, we discuss about talk to people who I trust. Based on the graph, as many as 48.1% of students choose this method over the others. Usually, people find talking to someone so helpful that they wish they had done it sooner. Experts say that talking can relieve stress and can ease the burden of anxiety a person may be experiencing. Then we talk about it. Based on the graph, the percentage of 40.4% is the second highest when they choose to eat when stressed. Eating regular and balanced meals will help students feel better. It can also help control a student's emotion.
As you can see here, the answer resulted from the written question, what do you do if your friend's sets or math has 52 respondents? The bar chart shows that the highest percentage of answer is listening to them, which is 42 people. In my opinion, students choose this answer because most of them have a closet friends who are easy for them to talk about their problems. So, by being a loyal listener, they are more likely to feel that the problems they are facing are reduced. They also choose to talk to them, which is 23 respondents. This shows that PMM students prefer to tell their problems with their closet friends because, in my opinion, friends are more understanding and always by their side. And they also know us more deeply. This makes them feel more comfortable if they want to talk about their problems with their friends. The lowest option is to pass it on to someone experienced and successful. Students do not tend to talk to someone with experience like a counselor because they might not feel comfortable and do not trust the counselor. For those who choose to ignore their friends, it may be because they don't like hearing other people's problems. As you can see, if they don't pay attention to their friends who have problems, it is possible that their friends will be stuck with mental problems because they have to hide alone.
The second question is, who do you look up for when you feel stressed? Firstly, I want to talk about friends. For this graph, an average of 21.2% of them choose to find a friend when under pressure. This is because friends are part of the place to express the problems faced. Besides that, friends are also close people other than family. Secondly, parents or siblings. In addition, students also choose to find parents or siblings because they are the closest people. They will also definitely help us when one of their family members is in trouble. Therefore, based on this graph, 28.8% of them choose to find parents or siblings. Thirdly, about stranger. Most students will not choose strangers to express their feelings for fear of being taken advantage of. So, the graph shows that only 5.8% students choose strangers. Then, we want to discuss about professional seek. For the graph, this time, no student choose which 0% to find a professional because this method is quite difficult and does not guarantee the safety of a student. Lastly, I want to talk about prefer to keep it by myself. Students prefer to hide their own problems rather than telling people because maybe they don't trust others completely, because the graph shows the highest percentage of 44.2%.
The pie chart shows the percentage of student responses on how much they agree that spending time with friends, loved ones, and people we trust is important to maintaining our mental health and well-being. As you can see, students who strongly agree with this statement, which is 50%, and for students who only agree is 47%. This could be students who would strongly agree and agree have people who are they close to and trust. It is easy for someone to express their feelings and not hide the problems they are faced. They will also prevent mental problems if they have a positive environment with the people they close to. Those who disagree with has a minor percentage of 2% and strongly disagree by 1%. So here, we can see that many students support that spending time with close people can prevent them facing mental problems. As a conclusion, having a close friends can give a little benefits to oneself in order to avoid falling into useless things and illness such as mental illness and so on.
I would like to present and explain about the pie chart. So as we can see, this pie chart shows the result of a survey of the question about the statement that maintaining mental health is everyone's responsibility. So as we can see, the biggest percentage, which is the majority participant vote, is agree with the proposition is 59.6%, and the smallest percentage in this pie chart, which is disagree, with 3.8%, and the second biggest is strongly agree with the proposition is 36.5%. So the majority participant vote is agree, and the most participant, the lowest percentage is disagree, which is 3.8. And as we can see on the legend, there will be 4 choices, but there's nobody vote for strongly disagree. So as a result, what we can say and understand from these responses, that PMM student is agree that mental health is everyone's responsibility. So it is a good result, and they just a smallest percentage that is disagree. So if there is more awareness, maybe this disagree can turn to agree or strongly agree. So from this, we can understand that PMM students have a good awareness, which is they know that mental health is something that is important and need to be responsibility for everybody. Responsibility, if they think it is responsibility for themselves, they will stay alert or take care themselves, family members or friends, if they have diagnosed with mental illness. So this is a good response that they have a largest percentage on agree.
Move to our very last question for our survey, focus on the third objective, which is to maintain a good mental health among Polytechnic Merlimau students. The question sounds like, do you think you have enough sleep? The pie chart there shows that student who answered sometime has the majority of pie chart, which is 65%. Meanwhile, student who answered yes bottom out the void, which is 14%. No option is steadily be chosen by 21% of students, making minority of students do not have a good enough sleep recently. As for my observation, I believe that since we are in the 7 weeks of study, students still get used to the new environment of study. The study style, the assignment given by the lecturer, the social lifestyle, and maybe those who just move recently to their rental house or like to the hostel. It could be any reason for people, or like especially for students, to not have a good enough sleep. Study has shown that adult age around 18 to 16 years old requires 7 hours sleep to be counted as a good sleep. As for the discussion, we believe that we see the 2 points of our survey today, which is the impact on ourselves and to the students, and also what we conclude overall in our observation. First, for the impact, we are able to recognize in general regarding awareness and practice of Polytechnic Merlimau students of mental health issues. For the conclusion, we conclude that the result of our survey highlighted that the majority of students has been exposed to the mental health matters, and we are able to provide a support for those who need. We believe by finishing these surveys, we can encourage more helps and provide useful support for those who need in the future, especially for those who need in Polytechnic Merlimau Melaka. That is all from us. Thank you for watching our presentation and giving your attention.